This is a John Deere 35G Mini Excavator. It's made by Ertl, and it's in 1/50th scale. Now this is one of the more anticipated models that Ertl's put out, just for the fact that it's a mini excavator from Deere. It's all new tooling from Ertl, and it's something that's not a forestry model, which they've been making Deere forestry models, it seems like every shape and size for years now, but everything else has been kind of stagnant. Ertl tends to take whatever mold or casting or whatever you want to call it, and they will crank out as many versions of that as they possibly can, I guess, to maximize their return on the investment. And there's nothing wrong with that, but it gets a little boring after, so many years of the John Deere 200 or 270 or whatever it is now. And so anyway, this is brand spanking new. It is hot off the presses, and it's really not a bad little model. It is from Ertl, so you have Ertl standards. You have those giant goofy silver pins there, which look terrible, but for the price point, it's not that bad. I've seen these from anywhere between $18 to like $27, $28, and at $28, I think that's maybe a little high, but I think for $18, I think this is a steal. I think it's a great model for $18. And bearing that in mind, we'll take a look at it. Now, first thing you notice, just from handling it, is you have a lot of slop in the joints here. The cylinder here is not exactly stiff. I mean, it's close, but it's not quite there. It does hold a pretty good pose, though, for the most part. It comes up just enough. The stick will come out pretty straight. The bucket actually comes to a decent dumping angle, and it'll dig down fairly well. The stick will come in just enough, and surprisingly, the bucket actually closes a pretty far amount. Yeah, it curls in there pretty tight. And I say that's surprising because that seems like it's a pretty tight fit for Ertl. They don't usually get that close. Now, you do have a swivel to the left and to the right, but again, it's not that great. But again, $18 from Ertl, not so bad. The blade does move up and down, but there is no cylinder to it. But the nice thing is it's stiff enough that that pin that holds it in there kind of forces it to hold any position you want. The tracks are rubber, and the old sprockets there and the idler do spin, which is nice. I don't think you could get this thing to roll on its own just because the tracks are stiff enough, but they look fairly decent. They certainly look the part. Now, the paint and the decals and the casting and everything is actually really good. The paint is very good and crisp. It's not too thick. They did a good job with the paneling here, as well as the reflectors. It just generally looks really good. It's nice and clean and sharp. The operator station is pretty basic. Not a whole lot going on there, but it's better than nothing. No no light lens or anything like that. But as I said, for $18, it's not that bad. It's pretty good. It's not as nice as like the Bobcat mini excavators. It's not as nice as the those gals from I guess Diecast Formations, or I think Diecast Formation made those. Like, those are nicer than this, but they're also a little bit more expensive. The Bobcats are about the same price range, and probably just a little bit nicer than this. But as I said, they're fairly anticipated, and just for the sense that it's nice to have a mini excavator from Deere. For as many pieces of equipment and as popular as Deere is, I think they're fairly underrepresented as far as diecast models go. So it's always nice to have more from Deere. Anyway, that's about it. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to ask. If you have anything you'd like to see, let me know. I might have it. And as always, thanks for watching.